You're watching Explore Tulsa.
We have this saying that sometimes you work too long on a painting, and Ross Myers is a former teacher. He used to say, know when it's time to get out of the casino and it's time to leave the painting alone. And plein air forces you to do that. The whole idea is feeling the atmosphere. And studio painting is great, and studio painting is important, but I believe it needs to be 50-50. You need to do some of both. And if you're gonna paint a landscape, you need to go look at that landscape you're gonna paint. You need to see what it feels like, even if it rains. Go feel it in the mist, go feel it in the sun, go do it. As a little kid, I always drew or sketched or whatever, but I didn't have any painting supplies, didn't have any. I lived in a little town in East Texas and there wasn't art classes. But a few teachers had mercy on me and encouraged my parents, said, she's got some talent and we need to help her a little bit. So at one point my mother was like convinced, she really wanted me to play piano, and when that wasn't gonna work, she did buy me some art supplies, but I didn't get to go very far with that. Then later in life, it just got pushed back for raising kids and doing other things, being a PTA mom, soccer mom, the whole bit. Then about 8 or 10 years ago, I decided it's my turn. I'd been in it about 4 or 5 years when somebody asked me, said, Linda, would you consider doing a plein air group? An event, so we could have an event, because as artists we've all heard of it. There's Plein Air magazine, there's beginning to be events all around us and especially all over the country and the world. So at first I was like, no, that sounds like a lot of work, but then I came back and I went, why not? I'll do it. Last year was our inaugural event and it was so successful and people loved it. What you do as an artist is you sign up for the event. You come down to, we came to Ziegler's Art Supply at 7 a.m. It was dark and the artist showed up, and we have a special secretive stamp that we stamp the back of your canvas, your watercolor paper, whatever support medium you use, we stamp the back so that we can then prove that you did it that day. Then you went out, they went out as artists anywhere they wanted to. In fact, if it was hard for you to get out somewhere to plein air paint, we allowed them, go home and paint off your patio. Sit on your patio, but just be outside. Then at 3 o'clock, they had to all be back at Ziegler's, and we checked them in. And they had to pop their work in a frame, wet, whatever it was, it had to be popped in a frame, and we judged it. So I said, let's see what we can do, second year, can we make it bigger? Let's try for 3 days. And so that's what we're doing this year. The first day, we wanted to include Ziegler's in it because they had been so helpful. So we're gonna start at Ziegler's again like we did last year. The second day, we're gonna reconvene at Post Oak Lodge. And so they're allowing us to come out and use their facility. But on that day, you have until 3 o'clock and you have to paint something Post Oak. The third day, you come back and we're gonna have sunrise painting. And so anyone who's interested will set our easels up out there and we're gonna paint the sun coming up behind the skyline of downtown Tulsa. The public is welcome to come to that. In fact, Post Oak has invited lots of people, and we're inviting everyone we know to come out and just see what can be created outside in just a short number of time. And the paintings are gorgeous. When they were last year, they will just blow your mind how beautiful they are. Well, the biggest reaction I have is they didn't know it would be that hard. And when I say hard, it's a lot of work to drag your equipment out. And if you've never done it before, you take too much. We help you. We want you to be successful. We want you to fall in love with it. But by the end of it, everybody falls in love with it.